Happy Thanksgiving and welcome to Hangin with Deez. I am your host, Deez. With me, as always, there is Bubba J. And if you're taking the time out of your probably busy day of preparing food, or I don't know, maybe you're just fucking lazy laying around in bed.
Waiting for everyone else to wake up, probably.
Yeah. And of course, sometimes you need that extra sleep to put up with some of the shit that you got to put up with on Thanksgiving morning.
Oh yeah, in-laws and hell, maybe just regular family.
Yep. I got one of those myself I'm going to deal with here in a couple hours. But anyway, if you do take any time to spend with us today, we appreciate that. And hopefully we can at least somewhat entertain you while you're stuffing that turkey in one way or another.
Right.
So let's go ahead. What the fuck is that? Oh, sorry. There's a bathroom.
I don't know. I didn't see it.
My studio is connected to a bathroom, and somebody turned the shower on, and it sounded like the place was about to fall down. Anyway, here we go. Uh, how was your week?
As a whole, mine was okay.
Yeah,
Didn't
good.
didn't get didn't get too crazy at work. I started a new position, so it's just kind of training and stuff like that. Went fishing. Saw some headlines I'm excited to talk about,
Yeah,
which I'm
yeah.
sure you
Me,
are.
me too.
Yeah,
Because my week started off very shitty, as
sure.
did with all the Steeler fans out there, with a loss to the Cleveland fucking Browns. And DTR, Dorian Thompson Robinson. Yeah, whatever. Anyway, but if that's what it took to produce the results that it did, I'll
then
take it.
then the loss is worth it.
Ding dong, the dick is gone. Matt Canada has been sent packing. And
He gone.
I'm not, look, I don't think this is the magic wand that is going to just turn us into Super Bowl contenders. I'm not that naive. However, A, it can't get any worse than it was, at least I think. And B, while I text you, I put it on our Facebook page, about I'm done with Kenny Pickett. I'm still leaning that maybe he's not the guy. Okay. But I also still hold true to my sentiment that I have to see him with a competent offensive coordinator. Now, whether or not Eddie Faulkner and Mike Sullivan combined, because their efforts will be that. Morning, Dave. What's up, buddy? Are going to be equal one competent OC. Again, it can't get much worse.
Right.
My only hope is that they turn him loose a little bit. They coach him into using that part of the field that is between the numbers, which it seems that either Canada coached Kenny not to, or Kenny is so lacking of confidence that he doesn't trust himself to go there. And it was there. The game-winning touchdown. I don't know if you saw the replay. The game-winning touchdown was there on a slant that Deontay was wide open on, and instead Kenny panics, takes a sack, and that was the game. I mean, that we tied it there, but the way our defense was playing, we get a touchdown there. In my opinion, there's no shot that we don't win that game.
Oh yeah, there was multiple times when he missed open receivers or it was a terrible play call where they had multiple opportunities to win that game. It
Communication,
didn't just
like
come down to one just like any other close game. It's not just one play or one sack or one timeout that we shouldn't have used. It's a combination of little things that happen throughout the game that we'll catch it up later. We'll do this. We'll do that.
absolutely.
And it just imploded and they got beat. I mean, flat out, they got beat. I mean, they beat
There's two
themselves too,
plays.
but
Oh, for sure. Two plays that I want to call attention to. And if you're a Steeler fan and you follow Twitter, any Steeler Twitter account, you've seen these plays ad nauseum. The first of which was a swing pass to Jaylen Warren, where if you're watching the play, there's three receivers left, and George is to the right. Well, Warren motions out left. Kenny takes the snap. He doesn't even look over here, and you can clearly see it's man coverage on George.
Right.
It's straight up one on. Kenny never even looks that way.
Well, you're going to tell that on the motion anyway.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's hard to disguise man coverage on a motion from trips left to.
Which tells me
stands on
that
both
Kenny either pre-snap said, "I'm throwing this to Jaylen," or he was told, "This is the play." The problem was you had your three wideouts wide left lined up man. They were supposed to block, at least
Sure.
in Kenny and probably Jaylen's eyes. However, the ball snap, those three wideouts go run routes, and by the time they make their first break on the route, Kenny's already thrown the pass to Jaylen, so the three DBs are literally untouched.
Yeah.
And so is that a miscommunication between the coaching? Is that an actual fucking play that Matt Canada had in the offense? I don't get it.
I wouldn't see why. I mean, it's
I don't either.
There to me, Kenny's got the play, and then he's told, here's your target, and he just runs into the huddle, tells him to play, and then forgets to say, hey, this is going to go to so and so.
Yeah, lucky for us, the play was only a no gain, or I think he might have lost one there. But if those three receivers block, and the way Jaylen Warren runs the ball when he gets it in his hands, and the game that he was having, I got to think we at least pick up 5 or 6 there. Right. But anyway, the second play that tells you that there was a major problem is very late in the game. Kenny drops back, and in the one few times that Dan Moore didn't, personally escort Myles Garrett to Kenny's ass, and I'll get to that in a second. Kenny left it rip. Yeah, down the right sideline, and I'm thinking, oh, deep pass to George. He's going to get it, and there's nobody there,
right?
Because the receiver ran a comeback. So again, communication issues. Like, what are we fucking doing? Who's not making the right read here?
Right.
Hopefully that they can change something.
Yeah,
Dave, I knew that. I mean, yeah, you're not going to change your offensive system mid-season. However, you can be better at playing the situations with what you have. You run less of the jet sweeps and shit, and you game plan more for your studs, your Freiermuths, your Pickens, your Deontay's, rather than just throwing the ball outside the numbers. We've seen, Dave, that we've got routes that actually go in the middle of the field. They just don't throw there, whether that's Kenny being scared or
that's probably a quarterback issue, or both of them. Canada doesn't want the interceptions and stuff, so he's going to call less plays in the middle. But I mean, you could give the same playbook to every team in the NFL, and they could run the same offense, and you're going to have different results. Based on who's coaching it, who's executing it, the whole nine. And it just sounds like to me the combination of Canada, who probably shouldn't even be coaching high school, and Kenny, who's fairly green still in the league, needs a very good coach to take everything apart of the play, everything specifically, what they're going to do, and if they don't do this, where they're going to go, what the defense should do, how the defense should react, all this kind of stuff, this little stuff, so he can go through his progressions correctly in a timely manner. The offensive line has to keep the fucking guys out of his face. It's a mess in Pittsburgh.
In the past game, I have been bragging on the offensive line for the last few weeks, especially since Broderick Jones went to right tackle. But this week, Dan Moore was exposed like he's never been exposed before, had probably the worst game I've seen him have. And now that Matt Canada is gone, which by all accounts, nobody's actually confirmed it, but people that know people on the inside say that the reason that Chuks Okafor was benched was because he was bitching publicly, or at least to the team about Matt Canada's play calling. Look, he's gone. All right. Put Chooks back at right tackle, which again, he's not a stud, but he's competent. And you move Roderick Jones to the left because that's what you fucking drafted him for anyway. All right. If that's your guy, if you said that this is going to be my blind side fucking Lord and Savior, put him in. All right. We're not winning a fucking Super Bowl this year. As much as I, would love to put on the rose-colored glasses and think we have a shot, in all realism, we don't. Okay.
Right.
Can we do better than what we're doing? Absolutely.
Sure. I mean, there's still a division out there that could very well be yours with
Yeah.
the right couple of games falling your way.
I 100% agree with you, Dave. My only glimmer of hope is that we saw Kenny last year when it seemed like he had more of a fuck it, let it fly attitude. Same thing with like the preseason this year. Something has happened, whether it was coaches saying, don't turn the ball over, blah, 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 don't turn the ball over, got in his head and he's become scared or what? Do I think Kenny Pickett is fucking Patrick Mahomes? Absolutely not. But he's better than what he has shown this season. I think Kenny can be an above average NFL starter that can look better than he is with the talent around him.
He'd have to, because the GM and Tomlin, all them wouldn't have went and got him like they did if they didn't see something. I don't remember the draft class, but I kind of recall there was a couple better quarterbacks on the board when they went and got him.
Yep. Another great point by Dave. Kenny, I don't see the scrambling much either. It's, again, could it be coaching? Is it don't put yourself in a situation where you could get hurt? I could definitely see that.
Yeah.
And the one thing, if I'm a coach, I'm telling Kenny, stop spinning to the outside, because all that's going to do is get you killed. You got two options when you've got the rush coming. You either run or step up and try and make it, because worst case scenario, if you still get sacked, at least you're only getting sacked for a 2 or 3 yard loss as opposed to 6 to 8 yards by trying to spin out.
And that's how offenses are designed. That's how an offensive line is designed and taught to pass block, is you block out, you create a pocket. When your edge rushers are coming in, they're going fast. So you want to push them either further outside and away, or when they come inside, your quarterback's
the very definition of a pocket.
Yeah, you're supposed to know the pressure and see the pressure. They're okay, they made a move inside, so now I'm going to step up into the pocket, give myself another second so I can get rid of the ball, throw it out of bounds, run it for a couple of yards, not take the sack, not get hurt.
To me, as far as the rest of the season goes, do I want to see us get competitive, win the division? Sure, for the sake of fuck everybody else in our division. I know we're not winning the Super Bowl, but I know that we're a better team on paper than what we've shown. But you gotta turn Kenny loose. You have to see, what is this the guy? I don't expect him to have a 100% turnaround, but I need to see marked improvement to know whether or not this is the guy I go forward with next year with a hopefully competent offensive coordinator, whether it be Byron Leftwich, Ken Dorsey. There are a lot of names out there.
Right now it's going to be a running back coach.
Yeah, Eddie Faulkner has been named the OC. Mike Sullivan, which is our quarterbacks coach, has experience in the play calling aspect in a couple of organizations, so they're going to kind of split duties there. No matter what happens, I don't care if they turn this offense into a 30 points per game juggernaut. I still want an outside person brought in. Tomlin brings these guys from within the same system, and we're seeing that system does not fit all of our personnel. Why? I mean, I get it. It was his first game back, but why was Freiermuth only targeted one time?
Yeah, and that's normally a scared or green quarterback's go-to as your tight end. you know, if you're not wanting to get sacked, you're not wanting to get hurt, you're
Yeah.
new-ish, you know, you're confused, you don't know the play call. I mean, that's your tight end's job. Block for a second, get into a little pocket of and get a couple 3 yards. I mean, give your quarterback an out. Just like if you have like Najee Harris or what's his name, the other guy in the backfield, go get in the flat, go find a seam, sit there, give your quarterback an option.
I agree 100%. Now, to be fair, Freiermuth has been hurt for whatever it's been, 6 weeks, something like that. So they don't have that, but it's still, I mean, it's
He
got to get better.
how
Can't
many
get any
how many
fucking worse.
practices how many practices have they had?
Enough.
6 weeks missing. He still walked. Still did walkthroughs if he was allowed to. They had still had all the off season, all the
No,
training
and
camps.
last year. No, you're
Yeah,
absolutely right. Yeah,
no,
it
yeah,
should be better than it is.
absolutely.
No question whatsoever.
Freiermuth is
Uh,
is somewhat of a vet on that team. You know, he needs to step up and say, "Hey, dude, I got your back. You know, if you need an out, look for me. I'll be open as often as I can, if not every time."
yeah, and Dave, to your point, which is a great one. Why is it that Jalen Warren busts open a 74-yard touchdown run to start the third quarter, and then he doesn't touch the ball for the next 2.5 series? What the fuck are we doing?
Yeah,
I love Naj, and it almost seems like the offensive line is pissed off at Naj. And I realize that their running styles are a little different. Warren gets the ball and fucking hits the hole if it's there and he's gone. Naj kind of has a little Le'Veon in him, and maybe he watched too much of his tape when he came into Pittsburgh because he kind of stutter steps and looks for a hole as opposed to just going. Doesn't quite have the burst that Jalen has, but at the same time, sometimes it looks night and day between those two. But
right.
regardless, you got the hot hand. If Jalen Warren is hitting the hole and going, feed him the fucking ball.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of, nope, sit on the bench for the next 2 or 3 series while Najee fucking gets killed after
Right.
2 yards. You know, it's super frustrating. But at the end of the day,
Yeah. Was that play calling? You know, was that game
it's
plan?
definitely
Was that scheme? You know,
predictable play calling. You know, like teams know it's first down, Najee's in there. 98% of the time, it's going to be a run to Naj inside the tackles. I mean, you don't need to be a fucking Vince Lombardi to figure that out.
right.
Like, all you got to do is watch tape. Matt Canada called like fucking 3 different running plays with Naj. Either Naj left, Naj right, Naj up the middle. And if it's second or third down and he's in there, there's a slight chance they might run a fucking swing pass or something.
Sure.
So the game planning and the play calling has to be better. Hopefully Sullivan and Faulkner can combine for that.
Yeah, it almost looks like a kid playing Madden. You know, it's like the same 12 plays.
Yeah.
You know, well, it's coach suggestions. You know, you get 3 plays per page, and it's just the same thing over and over and over again.
Shit. Madden is, you're giving too much credit. It's more like Tecmo Bowl. You got 2 run plays and 2 pass plays. And if those don't work, well, you're just fucked.
Yeah.
You know, you watch guys on TV or on Twitter like Dan Orlovsky or some of the really good Steeler Twitters that can sit there and tell you, you know, every time they're in this formation, this is the play they run. If these guys can figure that out, don't you think some of these highly competent defensive fucking coordinators can figure it out?
Absolutely.
Of course they can.
Especially when they're stealing signs on the sidelines and sending spies in, you know.
Yeah. And the other big question I have with the story of Canada getting kicked the fuck out the door is in the beginning of the day, the Steeler beat writers were reporting that it was a Art Rooney decision. And then when Tomlin comes out for his press conference, he says, my decision alone.
Yeah.
What are we doing here? Like, what the fuck? Let's get on the same page. Whether it was Tomlin or Rooney, now you're creating dissension within the fan base of, oh, well, if Rooney did it, then Tomlin's a fucking idiot and he needs to go. Well, if Tomlin did it, then Rooney's a fucking idiot and he needs to sell the team. Like, let's all get on one page, okay?
Yep.
Let's heal. We have gotten rid of the cancer, okay? We have cut the fucking cancer out. let's see what other tumors are around, i.e., maybe Kenny Pickett, maybe Mike Tomlin, whatever, and let's slowly start to fucking figure this out. Our schedule, like I said 2 weeks ago, our schedule on paper is still one that we can fucking run through if they get their shit together. I don't know. We'll see. But
Yeah,
either way, I'm happy Canada's fucking gone.
Yeah, Tomlin, which I think you watched the press conference, he said, I did not come to this decision lightly. It's not easy, but I thought it was necessary. And he said that Faulkner will be in charge of organizing the staff for the game plan.
Yeah. Basically, he's the chairman of the committee, is basically what he's saying.
I don't see any where they've named anybody who's going to be calling the plays.
Yeah, he did come out and say that Tom or Mike Sullivan would be the play caller. I don't know if he did it in the press conference, but through the press releases and whatnot, he will be the one that actually calls the plays, while Faulkner is the main one that will coordinate the game planning.
Yeah, there were some players that were pissed off too.
Oh yeah.
Naj even said, how long is this shit gonna last?
Yeah, the post-game presser with Naj was very, very telling. Like, you can tell he was not a fan of the game planning and whatnot. So who knows? Maybe this will fucking light a fire under everyone's ass and we'll actually make some noise, but we'll see, man. We'll see.
Yeah.
Anyway, now that that's all said and done, let's cover some other things. I'm sure I'll rotate back to this Steelers shit before it's all said and done. But one last time, blame Canada. Let's all heal. Let's move on. And let's fucking get this thing going. Last week, as far as our picks went, I went a dismal 7-7, and Bubba, yeah. You only went 8-6, but you did make up yet one more game. And that leaves our standings through our 11 weeks. Me at 101-60, Bubba J at 93-68. Going over. What are your thoughts on the? Let's just stay in division here. What are your thoughts on the Joe Burrow thing? Did we? No, we didn't talk about this.
Specifically, what?
Well, did you see that pregame? The Bengals social media posted a video of him walking into the stadium. And while it's kind of far back, you could clearly see he was wearing what looked like a bowling.
Yeah, we talked about that last week. Yeah.
We did? Okay.
Yeah, supposedly
that's right, because that was Thursday night.
Had something on his wrist. Wasn't quite sure. I mean, you could tell something was there. Wasn't quite sure what it was. But then it wasn't, was it second quarter, first quarter, something like that? He went out.
I forgot we did a Friday show, so we did talk about that. But yeah, it's.
And he had, the NFL is looking into it as an unreported injury, like the whole Bijan Robinson thing.
What the fuck?
What happened?
Oh, a fucking video started playing and you couldn't hear it, but I definitely could. Anyway, yeah, I forgot what we already covered that. Let's move on to the rest of Sunday.
I told you have to turn your late night websites off before we start this.
I know, my bad. Yeah, happy that Miles Jack is back, even though in a practice squad role, but still somebody that knows the system. And given the luck that we've had with our linebackers, while he wasn't the stud I expected him to be when he signed, at least he's a body that knows the system that can come in and produce some results should we lose another linebacker. Bears Lions, was that fucking the most, like, that's the Lions that usually happens too. Right. Over the course of the last, like, the Lions actually did to the Bears what teams have been doing to the Lions for fucking decades.
Years, right.
Chargers Packers was kind of a surprise in that it was, to me, a low scoring game. We are starting to see the Brandon Staley chair get white hot.
Oh, it's super hot.
Yeah. Speaking of audio that shouldn't be
Yeah.
playing. Raiders Dolphins, no real surprise there again, other than the low score. Giants, Tommy fucking
Yeah. I
DeVito.
couldn't believe it. We both, I guarantee,
How
we're
has
sitting on
Tommy
the couch
DeVito
for
got
what?
more touchdown passes this year than fucking Kenny Pickett? Or not this year, but since like October 1st
He's on a
in
better
one
team,
game.
right?
Better team. Yeah.
He's got a better coach.
Well, there's that.
And
Cowboys beat the hell out
and
of
he's
Panthers.
fucking Tommy touchdown, man. He came from Illinois.
Hey, right. You made my point for me. Thank you.
Yeah, and he's put up 31 points against a team that should have fucking slaughtered him.
Yeah.
What can he do? He let oh, that's right. The Steelers stealered. That's right. Just saying.
Yeah.
Cowboys didn't have a Cowboys won. I mean, they didn't have a hard time.
Right, yeah, Christ, they played North Carolina State.
You played the fucking Browns with a rookie quarterback and a
And
trash
still
offense.
one of the best defenses in the NFL. Thank you very much.
Well, it showed.
Jets finally pulled the trigger on Zach Wilson, and yeah,
that's a mess.
At this point, my only hope is that Kenny Pickett doesn't turn into Zach Wilson, which
if you look
at right
the
now.
box score for that game, I think it was, what was it, 10-6 at halftime
of the Bills Jets. 16-6 at halftime.
Yeah, it was close. I mean, it was not ugly.
Yeah, it was a winnable game, and then the second half happened.
Yeah,
Rams
fucking screamed at him, I bet.
Proud to say I picked the Rams because the Rams always give the Seahawks fits, especially since Stafford has been there. Broncos are which Broncos team is the right one? First half of the season, or first quarter of the season, or second quarter of the season? Because it looks like they might be an actual NFL team.
Yeah, they came on. I mean, both them games, the Seahawks and Rams and Vikings and Broncos, both are really fun games to watch.
There's the Tommy DeVito reference by Jake there. Says it's the home cooking. He still lives with, which that's to me is hilarious.
If
you're
a
fucking NFL player and you still live with your parents.
If I could, I would. Well, until a week and a half ago, he was a third stringer on one of the worst teams in the NFL. And probably should have never, ever played.
He's still probably making $600,000 to $700,000.
He's probably paying back all his student debt.
Well, yeah, he was on fucking scholarship with Illinois. It had to be, I think,
for a year. I think he was.
Either way, I'm an NFL quarterback.
Either way, if I can live at home and make bank at the NFL, I'm doing it. I ain't got no woman pulling me nowhere, no kids, no nothing. Maybe he got all that good book learning from Illinois and he learned, hey, I don't need to go spend all this stupid money. I'm going to invest it, save it, you know.
His name's Tommy DeVito. I mean, how bright can he fucking be? He's a gangster.
He's in the family. That's why he lives at home.
Right.
I got my better half back there is part of the family. She made me watch some what show was that with Travolta? I don't remember. Some gangster. Gotti, I think it was. Gotti, that's what it was. And she's out there, oh, this guy did this. He was married to her, and this is his son, and this is like, lady, you're gonna get me shot just by knowing this fucking info.
Oh, I think I know what movie you're talking about.
Travolta it's Gotti is the name of it.
Oh, was he a Gotti in that?
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember.
John Travolta.
Doesn't he end up killing his wife because his wife's cheating on him or some shit like that?
Yeah. Well,
yeah, okay.
Made it seem like he was cheating. It really wasn't because
That's right. Yeah, she wasn't, but he thought.
right.
So he ends up killing her.
The guy that was fucking with him made it look like his best friend and his wife were hooking up, but his best friend was ended up being gay.
Yep.
You know, and
I do
so
that. Yeah.
yeah.
All right. So we've covered that. Before we get into our NFL picks, we got to talk about the other thing happening this weekend.
What's that?
The big game,
Oh
Michigan,
yeah, Michigan,
Ohio
State.
State, which this season has way more story to it. And that's hard to even imagine saying is that, a game of this magnitude is even bigger considering what's all gone down this year with Jim Harbaugh. I still firmly believe that Harbaugh's done after this year.
Oh yeah. I mean, if he's not fired, he's just going to leave just to get rid of the pressure or the suspicion or whatever is going on in Michigan, which is probably nothing.
Yeah.
But he just wants to be done with it. And there's a handful of teams that are just ripe for him to jump in and turn that organization around in the NFL.
Yeah. Yeah. I definitely think he's gone. In Michigan this year, Michigan has won the last two. Both teams obviously coming in undefeated.
Yep.
What's your pick for the game?
I think Michigan's going to win. Again, in this situation, they both can't lose. So, but I think Michigan's fired up. It's at home. Ohio State's really good. It's going to be a tough contest for sure. But I think Michigan pulls it out.
If we take everything out as far as the Harbaugh situation, I think Ohio State might have found a way to win. But with everything that's gone down, I think Michigan is in full fuck you mode.
Oh no, here we go.
And I've always hated Ohio State way more than my dislike for Michigan.
Me too.
I did go to a Michigan game last year. The atmosphere there is great. And I think the whole sign stealing thing is fucking stupid anyway. The pre-scouting shit is stupid.
Yep.
I think Michigan is going to run the ball down their fucking throats all day long. I look for Blake Corum to have like 200 fucking yards. And Jake's got an interesting take. If Ohio State loses, day is gone. I could see that happening.
I don't. Not just to lose that one game. I mean, it's a game you should lose anyway. What's the?
Yeah, but as important as it is to Michigan, Ohio State really only gives a shit about Michigan. Like that's
Well, sure.
And if he can't beat I'll just put it this way: I don't fully expect it, but I won't be surprised if they don't move on. If you get, especially 3 in a row, like
yeah, but your season is way more than just one game. I mean, they're undefeated. You don't fire a coach for being 12-1 because you lost to Michigan.
And we don't know what's going to happen. Like Ohio State could lose this game and still make the playoff. That's very, very possible. And the chaos.
We'll the favorites by 3.5 points.
The chaos that could ensue after this weekend and the championship weekend with all these undefeated. You have Florida State, they have Florida, and then the ACC title game. Potentially, they are going to be undefeated, and they could be left out. Say Alabama knocks off Georgia. Georgia's not going to drop, I would think, completely out.
No.
So thankfully in its last year, the 4-team playoff could just be thrown into complete and utter chaos, and we'll see that there is a need for a 12 team. Although 12 might be a little much, I probably would have been happy with 8, but it is what it is. It gives us that opportunity for a potential Cinderella. But that, back to this game, I just think Michigan is straight up in, you know, Bill Belichick fuck you mode, and
Right.
I don't think they're going to blow them out, but I think that they are going to assert dominance and win and be the first cog in the playoff chaos machine.
Yeah, they're 3.5 point favorites, and your over under is 45.5. So
Craig Gibbons, what's up, buddy? Uh, I think there's a scenario for Florida State. The only thing that hurts Florida State, in my opinion, is that the committee knows that their quarterback is done. Um, but what could be interesting is if their backup quarterback comes in and just absolutely lights up Florida and then dominates the ACC title game and shows that he is a potential superstar in the making, then it's going to be really fucking hard to make a case to keep them out of the top 4.
sure.
If they perform very well in these next 2 games that they have and remain undefeated, that committee is going to create a complete shitstorm if they don't put them in the top 4, depending
Oh
on
yeah.
what happens with the other 4. I mean, we already know that Georgia has to play Alabama, so that's a potential chaos maker there. Ohio State, Michigan obviously could be sketchy.
And if
Yeah,
Michigan
I think
loses this
Florida
game,
State's got a road.
yeah, if Michigan loses, that whole stadium's going to implode, and it's going to throw this whole playoff thing into a whirlwind.
Yeah. And yeah, Jake makes another good point. Um, Florida State wins out. Oregon beats Washington. Again, that there's a road for sure.
Yeah.
And again, I'm all for chaos. I've always been with this
Well,
whole playoff bowl
and I
system.
think the
I
Knowles have
want,
earned it. The Knowles are playing great football. I mean, there's no reason they shouldn't be in that talk, if not just a shoe in.
yeah. Yeah, but again, if the quarterback doesn't get hurt, I don't think Florida State even drops out of the top 5. The
No.
committee looks at that like, oh, well, they're not going to be as strong
Yeah.
a team. But you can't punish the rest of the guys because
Right.
one
It's not
dude
just
gets
one guy
hurt.
out there winning games.
Yeah. Appreciate it, Craig. Happy Thanksgiving, bro. I'm getting ready to go to Rod's house here in about an hour. That's an old high school buddy of my brother's.
Yeah.
So anyway, yeah, we're both picking Michigan. Should be an interesting week of college football and an even more interesting week of rankings over the course
Sure.
of the next 2 weeks. Really looking forward to that.
Well,
All right.
I got Jake here before if I'm not sure he's going to leave or not, but what about the Cubs saying they're going after Otani hard? Like he's there, they're going to throw him a huge offer, give him whatever he wants to come to Chicago to be the face of the franchise up there in the north side.
That thump you just heard was Jake's hard on hitting the bottom of his desk.
I mean, I hate it. I really hope they don't land it because that's bad for anybody in NL Central. Because Lord knows the Cardinals aren't going after him. But
look, if Ricketts is fucking serious about bringing another championship to Chicago, that's the move.
You got to make a splash like that to win a game, to win a series. I mean, you have to.
Yep. I don't even pitch him.
No?
Maybe in spot duty. Yeah. Why risk it?
I would. I'd pitch him. Absolutely. No, I think Bellinger's going to be back, and I think they're going to sign them both. If Otani wants to come play ball, I think they're going to sign him both. And I bet he pitches, and I bet he hits. I just do. I don't see why you would pay anybody the money.
I don't think he'll pitch this year though with the Tommy John.
I wouldn't say. I don't know. I'm maybe not
at
a full season.
Yeah, at the very best case scenario is maybe they bring him in pitching in
like a closing situation.
August. ramp him up in August to get him, to where he
I
could
thought
maybe
he, I
pitch.
thought he already had the surgery.
Wasn't it like mid-season, I believe, or no, because he played for a little bit while he was hurt before they actually shut him down. Either way, that's a long recovery. That's not like an 8-month thing. That typically it's a full like calendar year before they even want you to start throwing, unless he's got Aaron Rodgers doctors, and
Yeah, you're
especially
talking.
somebody like Otani, you want that to be a slow burn and make sure that he is going to be 1,000% ready to go. Oh, I didn't know he had 2. Wow. Yeah, then he probably won't throw much this coming season.
I didn't know he had. I didn't know that was his second one. So this is his third one then, or the mid-season one was his second.
I think this past one would have been his second.
Hmm.
If anybody here would know, it'd be like Jake is a baseball. Like that's
Sure.
either way. I still wouldn't be mad at the signing. Even if he is a DH, outfielder, whatever. Because that bat is huge. And then
Well, if they're not
next
going to let him
season, if he's ready to pitch, let him throw.
yeah, I mean, if you're going to pay him all that money, it's going to be for an extended period of time. You're talking like Albert Pujols numbers, back 11 years ago when at the time 250 million for 10 years was unheard of.
Yeah.
Now you're talking, how much do you pay? Do you pay him? What do you pay him? 300 plus, 400 million for 10, 12 years?
Oh, he's gonna get 400 to 500 million, I think. Where he's not going anywhere for less than the highest paid in history.
Oh, sure. He should be. I mean, he's
Yeah.
Babe Ruth esque, pitching and hitting dingers, and CBS Sports poll here, they everyone predicts at least 500 million. But this was before his Tommy John.
350 for 10 years with an option after 1 year. Like, so just call it what it is. It's a fucking 1-year deal.
Yeah, it's a 1-year deal for
It's a
35
1-year
mil.
prove it deal type thing.
Yeah.
It's
And,
who's not opting out of that?
oh, anybody would take that deal.
Unless he comes in and just absolutely sucks, then he's like, no, I'm going to stick around and make this 35 million a year for the next 10 years. And,
Well,
suck.
he's definitely
Call
in a
me
division
Bobby
in
Bonilla.
Chicago where, the pitching's not that great in the NL Central, and you play a lot of games against those teams. His batting numbers alone could be off the charts.
Yeah.
But 350 for 10 is not enough, in my opinion. If you're going to have the guy eventually, even 2 years, pitch and hit, it's not enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, not enough. 400 million, with the no salary cap, just pay him what you can pay him, just lock him in. If you're wanting a guy to be a face of a franchise and take it back to the World Series with a guy like him, I give him half a bill. If I had it.
Yeah, that's what it's going to take for sure.
Yep.
All right. Here we go. Let's get into these picks for this weekend, including 3 games today, 1 tomorrow.
Again, a disclaimer: if you're betting odds with us,
yeah, it's not been, especially this past week.
You might as well just mail us your cash because
right.
That's what's going to happen.
Here's our record again. Once again, going forward. Let's get into these picks today. Triple header starting off here in a couple of hours, hour and a half-ish. We got Green Bay Packers going to the Detroit Lions.
And being brought back to reality after beating the Chargers, the Lions run away with this one.
Yeah. I think Lions fans finally get to go home and have a happy Thanksgiving dinner. Detroit takes this win here. The spread's 8.5, though. I don't know that I would lay those points though.
No,
Jordan Love has been strong the last couple
yeah,
weeks. I think it's going to
yeah.
be a little closer than that.
If it was 2.5 or even 3, I might take the points, but not 8.5.
Yeah. So Lions money line there for me. Then our afternoon tilt 3:30 Central, 4:30 Eastern. We have the Washington Commanders taking on the Dallas Cowboys. The line is 13.5. Dallas, Tone Diggs from the Pat McAfee show made it known that Dallas is not good against the spread. So I
No,
see a closer game than that,
if you're
but I do
betting
take the
again with
Cowboys.
us, don't take the points. Washington always plays us tough, even with the name change and everything else.
Sam Howell leading the NFL in passing yards.
Yeah, and he's good. He's sneaky good. That
He's also
Brian,
near the top of interceptions as well.
yeah, well, and Brian Robinson or whatever the running back's name is deadly. That dude can run the ball.
Yep.
Uh, but no, Cowboys win this one at home. They're undefeated at home for like the last 12 or 13 games, something like that, without pulling it up. I can't remember, but it's a lot.
Yeah,
Which is
I got the
which is a
Cowboys here like 27-21-ish, somewhere in there.
yeah, which is a breath of fresh air because there was a few years there we couldn't win at home.
Yeah.
It was bad. But I also got to give a shout out to my boy Deron Bland, ties the NFL record with the most pick sixes in a season, and we still got plenty of game left. Plenty
What's
of
the
games.
record?
The record's 4 in one
Oh,
season.
wow.
He has 4 pick sixes already this season, and he's got
Well,
3 of them since Diggs went down.
what
So,
better what better person to do it against than Sam Howell?
oh
Because he has
yeah,
shown that he
it's
will hang them
Mike.
out there.
It is. It's a beautiful day in Dallas. We're at home. It's Thanksgiving. We're wearing the different uniforms. Deron Bland could break the NFL record for most pick sixes. You're playing a quarterback that throws all kinds of them. It should be a shootout. It really should. Um, I think today's the day. I hope today's the day. It would be awesome to be on Thanksgiving at home, for him to break the record. I could have swore it was going to be Trayvon Diggs breaking this record, but I'll take it. I mean, this guy stepped up when our team needed it the most, and everybody in that building is proud of him and excited to see it because I have no doubt he's going to break the record. Just I don't know when. It's going to be this week, next week, who knows?
And moving on to our evening tilt when most of us are in a food coma with the tryptophan coursing through our veins. We have the San Francisco 49ers taking on the Seattle Seahawks in Seattle.
Yep.
Geno Smith is a question mark as of this morning. Not sure he's going to go or not. I don't think it matters. San Francisco is fucking rolling right now.
Yep.
12th man be damned. I think they win this one and probably win it big because they are just really hitting their stride right now. So I got the Niners, and I would take the spread here. I think Niners are going to cover the 7-point spread.
Yeah, I would agree with you. I don't think it's going to be a blowout. It says he's questionable as far as Geno Smith. It is his throwing elbow though. They get DK Metcalf was a full participant in practice. San Francisco's going to win, but I don't think it's going to be, a no. Well, hello. Do you want to join the show? Am I ignoring you? Go lay down.
Is that your wife?
No. Yeah. The other woman in my life comes trying to put her face in my lap. What are you doing?
Yeah, it's good work if you can get it.
Yeah.
All right. So, Black Friday for the first time ever. We have a game on Black Friday. Why are my lights doing what they're doing?
Hey, look, you're on TV, Willow. You're on TV, Willow. Yeah. We're talking football. You like football? Oh, thanks, baby.
Black Friday again. We have the Miami Dolphins traveling to take on the Jets, now led by Tim Boyles.
Yeah.
But let's be honest, it's a lot like the Pittsburgh situation. It can't get any worse, can it?
You get down. Go
on. That being said, Miami is a 9.5 point favorite here. Jets still have that defense. I'm definitely taking the Dolphins, and I think they're going to cover.
Yeah. Sorry. Yes, the Dolphins are going to cover. The Jets are going to get their ass kicked. It's going to be a shit show.
Yep. All right, moving into the Sunday slate of games. We have the Saints traveling to the Falcons in Atlanta. Of course, we know Desmond Ridder. Although, never mind, Desmond Ritter's not the starter anymore, so throw that out the fucking window. Saints coming in at 5-5, Falcons 4-6. Atlanta's a 1 point favorite here.
Who's starting for Atlanta?
Heineke. Taylor Heineke's been starting the last few weeks.
I guess I haven't been paying attention. Anyway.
Give me the Falcons here.
Okay. Well, I have written down I'm going New Orleans. I guess I didn't know Heineke was playing. I guess I haven't been paying that close of attention, but
Heineke's been the starter for a few weeks now.
Huh. I'm still taking the Saints, so we'll split this one.
All right. Panthers taking on the Tennessee Titans. Yeah, I got to take Tennessee here. They haven't looked great the last couple weeks, but I think this is a get well game for Will Levis. Battle of the rookie quarterbacks.
Oh man, I gotta say Panthers don't go 1-10, do they? I mean, they're not very good, but the Titans are falling apart too. Oh boy. The Titans should win. I'll go with them. That's the team that should win. As the Panthers do pull off a little bit of what would be called an upset.
Tampa Bay taking on the Indianapolis Colts in Indy. Indy's actually a 2.5 point favorite here.
Probably because it's a home game.
Yeah. By the way, Shaq Leonard released by the Colts, and if I'm Pittsburgh, I'm kicking the tires. Give me the Colts.
I'm going to go Bucks.
I got some technical difficulties here.
Yeah, we're just a huge mess today. That's what we get for trying to squeeze our show in on a holiday and early morning. And
yeah, I got my little light system going ape shit. It's like a fucking slow strobe. Anyway, moving on. Patriots Giants.
Hey,
could this set the record for the lowest rated NFL game in history?
And the lowest scoring too?
That too, yeah.
No, I think. Oh man, Giants. Give me the Giants.
Yeah, Patriots haven't even announced the starter yet, so yeah, I'm going to take.
I heard Belichick was going to suit up.
It can't be any worse than what they got.
I mean, look what Pete Carroll did. I mean, everybody's seen that clip of him on the practice field throwing dimes. Why not?
Yeah.
Why not Belichick?
Yeah. Definitely got the Giants here. New England's actually favored by 3.5
Really?
on the road. Yeah.
On the road. But they live right down the road.
Well, yeah, but still,
It's a home game for both teams.
Then we got the Jaguars taking on the Houston Texans.
This is a
And
game I'm excited to see.
yeah. Let's see. Man, I'm kind of torn on this one.
Well, I'll pick. I'm going with Houston. They're at home. They're playing really well. Um, they got a pretty decent defense. I don't, it's not a defense that's going to get after Trevor like Philly or the Niners would, but um, I think they pull off. I think they pull off a home win here.
Give me the Jags. Fuck it.
All right. Is that our last afternoon game?
No.
Our last noon game. Sorry.
Oh,
No.
We have one more noon game.
We don't. Do we really need to talk about this one?
Yes, we do. The Cincinnati Bengals hosting the Pittsburgh Steelers. Fuck off. John Browning making the start. As we know, Joe Burrow out for the year.
And then the brand new Pittsburgh Steelers.
Look, I'm going with the new coach / coordinator paradox here. I mean, yeah, they're going to be refreshed. Yeah, I'm taking the Steelers. I
mean, why you have to? The flag behind
the Bengals. Who the fuck is John Browning? Like, we're gonna have two inept offenses. Cincinnati's defense has been very, very subpar this year, and I think it's going to be just enough that a revitalized, even if only for 1 week, Pittsburgh Steeler offense will manage to, I don't know, blow it open and score 20 points and get the win here, 20-17.
Well, I'm going to not agree, but I am going to pick Pittsburgh, and let me tell you why. There were brand new teams that have major changes, head coach, OC, quarterbacks, whatever. Winning the next game is very high.
Yeah.
And you couldn't have a better opponent right now who's in the same situation as you, but a worse team. The Bengals without Joe Burrow are not a very good team. They don't know how to run the offense without Joe Burrow. Jamar Chase doesn't have a relationship with anybody other than Joe Burrow. You're going to see how many times before he's done and gassed out. It's a you might want to record this one just because it's going to be weird. It's going to be one of those games, kind of like the game against was it Balt?
The Baltimore game was pretty fucking weird.
The Baltimore game was weird, but I can't remember if that was the one or not, or the one before that. We talked about how odd of a game it was.
The first Cleveland game that we won was pretty odd as well.
It was just so weird. The points,
two picks, or a pick six and a return fumble for a touchdown for us.
Right.
And then the Baltimore game, we were basically beat the entire game until the middle of the fourth quarter.
Sure. Yeah.
But yeah,
Pittsburgh's defense is going to win them this game. But look for TJ Watt. I'm predicting 3 to 4 sacks for him alone.
That'd be nice.
It would
I
be.
won't be mad at
No, I know he won't. But
that.
I love watching the quarterback get ate up.
There's a
And
chance, and I haven't seen the latest, but I know Minka was working hard to try and make it to be able to play this game. Uh, we'll see what happens over the course of the next 2 days, practice wise, whether or not that's going to be a thing. But
sure.
he's definitely working to get back on the field. And if he comes back, then I'll feel a lot better about things moving forward because that really
He did
changes
not
the way we
practice
call our
yesterday.
defenses.
He did not practice. Cameron Hayward did not practice. Patrick Peterson did not practice. George Pickens did not practice, and Isaac Sumalo did not practice. But a lot of them could be veteran days or
Vet days off. Pickens probably
he probably has to go
crying.
change his fucking diaper.
Yeah. Hayward, I guarantee, is a vet day off. Same thing with Pat P. But he's still got a couple days. Maybe they're just holding him out and seeing, but maybe he'll have to wait another week either way. But all right. So moving on to our Sunday afternoon slate. Kicking it off at 3:00 Central. Browns, Broncos. I got to take Denver. Denver's on a roll. And Cleveland did not look good with DTR.
No, but they won.
Yeah, we know.
and their defense is really good. But I'll agree with you here. They're at Mile High. I'm pretty sure it snowed and got cold last week or this week.
Yeah, but that ain't
leading up to
that
the
ain't
game.
gonna affect Cleveland.
Yeah, it will.
I mean, it might affect DTR coming from UCLA.
Cleveland. Trust me, there's nothing like that Rocky Mountain cold.
Oh yeah,
been there. Yeah. It's cold,
there.
But either way, that's not going to be a deciding factor. It's just not going to help things. But yeah, I'll take Denver with you here. I like how they're playing. They look good.
Rams, Arizona. Kyler Murray, of course, back, has looked solid. I still say that they're in tank-ish mode. Rams squeaked out a win against Seattle last week. Rams are 1.5-point favorites here. Close game, but I'm going to take the Rams by a field goal.
Yeah. Man. Yeah, you're probably right. It's going to be a somewhat close game. I don't know if it's going to be by a field goal, but I'll go with the Rams.
Then we got the Kansas City Chiefs traveling to Sin City to take on the Raiders. Chiefs 8.5-point favorites there. Give me the Chiefs, but I don't think they cover for the simple. Here's a fun fact for you. The Chiefs are the worst scoring offense in the NFL in the second half.
The worst scoring offense in what?
The second half.
They're terrible.
Even worse than the Steelers.
Did you watch that game against Philly?
No, bits and pieces.
It was the greatest game, the greatest Super Bowl rematch you could have asked for until the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
At the fourth quarter, the Chiefs could not catch a ball at all.
Yeah. MVS dropped a wide open
dropped
touchdown.
One. Kelsey fumbled one. Kelsey dropped a would-be first down on a drive that they needed and would have kept up that one ball. But Valdez Scantling dropped that for sure touchdown, hit him right in the hands, perfectly thrown.
Wide open.
Wide open. I mean, just I don't know. I mean, it was that the Chiefs should have won that game. we both should have got an extra win on our weekly tally. The Eagles should be 8-2. Damn it.
Yeah, sounds like some cowboy sour grapes there.
It is. That's the first time Andy Reid's lost to his former team. It's the first time the Kelsey brothers have swapped wins. I mean, the Chiefs should have won that game. They were driving, and it was just one thing after another went wrong on that fourth quarter, and it was sad to watch. It really was.
Yeah. Then we have the probably game of the week: Bills, Eagles in Philly. Philly giving 3.5. They are the favorites. Bills week 2 with their interim offensive coordinator. Oh, you go first.
Philly. The Bills look like shit as a whole for the season, and it's going to be hard to beat the Eagles at home.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Eagles too. But if this were reversed and they were in Buffalo, I think I'd take Buffalo. But because the Eagles didn't look great last week against the Chiefs, like I said, the Chiefs had every opportunity to win that game. So I think the Bills put up a good fight. But yeah, I think the Eagles are going to squeak this one out.
Yep.
Sunday night, Ravens, Chargers.
You want me to say it, and then you can just agree with me, so you ain't got to throw open your mouth a little?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, Baltimore by a bunch.
A bunch, you think?
By a bunch.
They're 3.5 favorites.
And no, I don't know why they're giving the Chargers that much.
Well, I mean, the Chargers offense has been really, really good for the most part. They just not good enough. Yeah, I'll agree. I think there's a lot of turmoil in that locker room with the Chargers. Bosa is out. He's on IR for at least 4 weeks, so that's really going to hamper their already struggling defense. So, yeah, as much as it does, in fact, pain me to say it, I think Baltimore wins here.
Yep.
Then we got Monday night. Chicago Bears taking on the Vikings. Vikings
Monday night.
Take a loss last week to Denver when they shouldn't have, because Kareem Jackson should have been penalized for that hit on Josh Dobbs.
Yeah.
But he wasn't, and now he's been suspended for 4 games. So you do the math. I think the Vikings get the win here.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, sorry, Bears fans, but you're still trash.
Yeah,
like bad.
All right, so
but I can clean my trash can. I can clean my trash can too and make it look brand new, but it's still a fucking trash can.
To sum up, we agree on the winners here. We've got Detroit, Dallas, the 49ers, Miami, the Titans, the Giants, Steelers, Broncos, Rams, Chiefs, Eagles, Ravens, Vikings, and we only split 3 times. I'm taking Atlanta. He is taking New Orleans. I am taking the Colts. Bubba is taking the Buccaneers. I am taking the Jaguars, and Bubba is taking the Houston Texans.
I like it.
There you have it. Have you talked about the game yet? Yes, we have talked about the game yet. Bubba J, I would like you to meet the man you replaced. That is Dylan. That is the reason that I am wearing this shirt I have on underneath this James Harrison jersey. That is my diehard Michigan fan cousin. We went to the game together. So yes, we did talk about the game. We both picked Michigan.
Yep.
I think Michigan is in full fuck you mode. And I think
absolutely.
Yeah, they are going to run the ball down Ohio State's throat. I think it's going to be somewhat close, but I just think that this whole situation has created a bit of a juggernaut. Happy Thanksgiving, Jake. Have a good one with your family, bud. We'll catch you here soon.
Happy Thanksgiving, Jake. Everybody else.
But yeah, we both agree. We think Michigan's going to win, but we're also both in favor of complete fucking chaos with this playoff system that could, in fact, happen here real soon.
Yeah. I love it. And did you I know you did, but did you see this week on McAfee him just unloading on the NCAA
Yeah.
at JMU, and then he did it on game day. Just
Yep.
the
That was
asshole
good.
chants, and oh, I loved it. If we could put it up, we need to put it up during this whole game, and it just put it on repeat.
Yep. And then the bad thing about that is JMU goes out and loses to App State.
Yeah, well,
You know what I mean? Like but they should still absolutely get a bowl bid. Like that is ridiculous.
I mean, yeah, the rules that they have in place now to prevent that from happening is, in my opinion, asinine. I don't understand the point behind it.
I don't get it. You're a
Um,
team that's
yeah,
coming from Division 2 or whatever
right.
you want to call it, and you're moving up with the big boys. If you prove that you can compete,
And they did a D1 schedule.
exactly.
They didn't put a bunch of FBS or FCS guys and just like they played a D1 schedule and went undefeated for 9 games.
They literally did everything right. It'd
Yep.
be different if a team that has been in D1 and was like, we're in shambles, we can't do it anymore. Let's go down to D2. And then they say, well, you can't go to the D2 playoffs because, you've been pulling all these D1 recruits. That's the way I would see something like that happening. But if you're moving up in competition, it's like if you're a boxer and you box at 160 and you say, hey, I'm going to go take on the 175-pound champion, it'd be like them saying, okay, but you can't win the title.
Right.
No, you're playing with the heavyweights now. You've proved that you can play that kind of schedule. There's no reason why they shouldn't get a bowl game. It's not like they're going to fucking go into the playoffs. We're just talking about a bowl game. They weren't.
Playoffs?
Yeah.
Playoffs? We're talking about playoffs?
Yeah. I'm trying to win a
He's got to
game.
win a game.
Like, they weren't lobbying to be in the top 4. They just won a bowl game.
Right.
Like,
What they earned.
absolutely ridiculous.
Give them what they fucking earned.
Yep, for sure. All right, well, let's wrap this up so we can get ready to go spend time with the ones we love.
Do we have to?
Yes.
I mean,
Including-
I'd much rather talk to you than some of the people I got to talk to today.
I agree. The NCAA put on a great basketball tournament. That's it. They serve no other purpose. I predict the Big Ten and SEC leave to create a Super League in 5. Yeah, I mean, we've talked about that for the last couple of years, Dylan, and it's only trending more and more that way.
Yeah, is that even something that's possible?
Well, yeah. Why wouldn't it be?
Well, I just don't know how the whole thing. How would the two biggest conferences just leave and create their own league? I don't understand. I don't see how it would work. I mean,
well, you gotta keep in mind what he's talking about is not just those two conferences as you see them right now. Over the course of the next 5 years, there are a lot of schools out there that they could both add.
Well, sure,
and create like a 30 to 40 team fucking super conference each, or maybe not even that much. You get 20 in each, and you just say this is the college super college football type shit. We're doing our own thing because they make the money, not the NCAA.
sure.
So it's very feasible. And if the NCAA keeps sticking their nose in shit that they don't want them in, I agree with him. I could definitely see that happening.
Yeah, I mean, something needs to happen because it's the trajectory they're going on is, you're going to lose viewership. You're going to. I mean, it's it's not fun to watch when you got the big organization handing out suspensions and stupid rules that don't make any sense.
Yep, absolutely. All right, brother, let's get out of here. Again, for those that stick around this long, we appreciate you. Have a happy Thanksgiving, and we will catch you after the long weekend. El Donzo and Deez will not be on the radio this week. It looks like we may be doing a live show on YouTube and posted to Spotify after Saturday. So, yep, you too, Dylan. I'm sure I'll see you here in a little bit. So
Yep.
that's
Happy
going to do it
Thanksgiving,
for us.
everybody.
Yep, we will see you all later. See ya.
Peace.